blanket.
Oh, there's no underwear, there's nice.
No, they're old, but thanks for noticing. Bob's are once in a lifetime.
I love that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of From the Great North to Wonder Wharf, your unofficial but verified one-stop destination for bento box information. As always, I am Mike.
And I'm JB. How's it going, guys?
Hello, we weren't here last week. We're here this week. Sorry. Move past it, everyone. Sorry. But we come back bearing gifts, and tonight we actually have a fun interview. JB, I'm going to let you take the introduction here.
Sure thing. I got it. All right, guys. So tonight, hey, Wharfers and Burger people, that's including all of you guys out there in the audience and beyond. Tonight, we sit down with a member of the Bob's Burgers family and a skilled animator at that. He has worked on our beloved Bob's for 4 years now, and the show is getting ready to celebrate its 300th episode, which airs on September 28th. So, Eric has worked a minimum of 15 years with big studios in all kinds of animation, such as Warner Brothers, Stupid Buddy Studios, and Bento Box. We are excited to meet him and talk shop, and without further ado, let's just get this rolling. Let's talk to Eric Wolford.
Nailed it, JB.
You got there.
It.
All I know is the last thing before we cut the camera is like, it's pronounced Wolford, right? And you're like, yeah. And James like Wolford Brimley. And then boom.
Boom. Nailed it.
You sounded like the telemarketers they used to get, like in the early 2000s.
Wolford.
It would always be the robocalls of Eric Wolford. But
Do you accept the charges?
no, get out.
Eric, how are you doing?
Man, I'm good. We're loving it.
First off,
Awesome.
appreciate you coming on here. I know we've been kind of going back and forth for quite a while now.
Yeah.
You're always ducking and dodging us, but we got you. We got you.
I just didn't know what I would have to say. Really, I'm a tiny cog in the burger machine, man.
We get that more often than you would think.
Yeah, but as Bob would say, pickles are important. The special ingredient is just as important as the main event.
Oh, you guys, you're gonna make me cry.
For what it's worth, JB, I don't like pickles on my burger, but I mean, to each their own.
I like them diced and, in other things like sauces.
Fair enough. But yeah, we'll jump right in. We always start with the hard hitting, down to the nitty gritty questions, trying to figure out who is Eric. Consider this a this is your life, Eric. And we're gonna go through everything. We're gonna get real weird about it, but just strap in. Let's go for a ride. Did you have a favorite cartoon or show growing up as a kid?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in a very Disney centric household down in San Diego. We were always up the freeway a lot, hanging out in Disneyland, and so
He's very loud
I
tonight.
would.
Sorry. It's bath time, so he's about to get out.
Oh yeah, been there for sure. Yeah, I would say probably as far as the shows go, like the early '90s. Well, early '90s, I guess, but the Ninja Turtles were huge.
Yeah.
Not Disney, but But
Yeah,
then the Disney afternoon stuff. When DuckTales hit, Tailspin hit, Gummy Bears was nuts.
Rescue Rangers.
Gummy Bears.
Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck.
So my kid, he's 3. He just discovered airplanes, and he's also been watching Jungle Book somewhat. And I just one afternoon was like, I'm about to blow your mind, dude. Bully the Bear in an airplane.
Yes.
Lost him for like
that
an
cool,
hour.
like metal disc. It's so cool that kid flies.
Yeah. What I always kind of wanted to see what the middle ground was between we got the Jungle Book and they're living in the jungle, they're doing their things, no one's got clothes on. Something happens, they all discover airplanes and cool 1930s I don't know what happened. Some sort of Planet of the Apes occurrence occurred.
Someone needs to write
And-
that story.
Get out there and do it. Have that idea.
No.
It
I'm an
was
idea
such a
man,
cool
not a
thing.
story
Like,
guy.
how did it happen? How did the Bears rise to power? How did Baloo get a pilot's license?
Right?
And
And
who
he's
taught
like
them
cargo
shame
plane pilot,
to have
right?
to put
He,
on
like-
clothes?
Well, yeah.
That
And
is
how do they decide what kind of clothes to wear? Just jackets, no pants? It seems like pants were not in.
I feel like
No
maybe
pants.
someone got a TV and saw Miami Vice, and that's like the little
They just
baseball
believe
cap,
that
the Hawaiian
history.
shirt. That's where they stop.
Magnum PI.
Bomber jackets and rad hats.
Magnum PI, yes. Magnum PI, that's what I was thinking, not Miami Vice. Come on, Mike.
It could be both.
You sound
Somebody
ridiculous.
pointed that out recently that Rescue Rangers, like Chip and Dale, are Magnum PI and Indiana
Oh.
Jones.
Yes.
And
Yes.
once you see that,
Mhm.
I can't unsee that.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's that they are essentially just those two.
Hands down.
But everyone has a favorite, though. Is it Chip or is it Dale?
It's got to be Dale. Go for the goofy.
It is Dale for me.
It's always Dale.
Is that the Magnum PI one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah,
Yeah,
that one.
he doesn't wear the cool jacket, but he wears the Hawaiian shirt, and he's more
Yeah.
goofy.
All right, fair enough.
He's more go with the flow, like Magnum.
Absolutely. He's way
So-
more laid back.
Of all those shows and cartoons, and it doesn't have to be just cartoons, live action shows as well, did you feel any of that made an impression on you and how you approach when it comes to animating or your artistic style that like you even see to this day?
I mean, broadly, yeah, all of it. That's tough. Yeah, I kind of just am a sponge for all of it coming in. I, jumping ahead to like college, really focused on stop motion. And so I was also watching a lot of old Harryhausen stuff when I was a kid. We were, brain went. Come on, names.
Did you watch the ones
original
like Gumby and like
Yeah. Gumby was definitely in rotation. But
trying to
like,
remember what the other one was. Like Moral Oral makes fun of it, but there's that
Moral
other one.
Oral. Yeah. It was an old like Presbyterian, church funded.
Like claymation show.
Davy and
I remember
Goliath.
Davy and
It
Goliath.
was called
yeah,
Davy and
yeah.
Goliath. My mom was a big fan of that. And I remember Moral Oral coming out. I didn't get the joke. I didn't get the reference. But then, like years later, my mom was like, "Is that?" I actually worked on a Simpsons bit. It wasn't a full episode, but it was one of my first like paying gigs in animation. Was they did Flanders' Dreams in like a Davy and Goliath style of his kids going to school. I worked on that. It was one of the first things I moved up here to work on. Was helping out with the Kyoto brothers, the guys that did the Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah.
They had a shop in Burbank, and they were doing this like 30-second, 45-second stop motion bit for a Simpsons episode that was in that Davy and Goliath stuff.
Nice.
Probably the
We've
first
had a
like
couple
on-screen
guests
credit I had was in the Simpsons.
That's a hell of a way to start,
That's,
though.
yeah, we've had a couple of people that are like, yeah, I did this little thing for The Simpsons, and it's like, The Simpsons started so many people, or King of the Hill. It seems like people get on there too.
A lot of people, yeah.
JB, I'll let you take the next one. I've been chatting way too much.
When did you start exploring your creative side as like a kid, and like how did you kind of like implement that into adulthood?
Oh, I mean, it's so great seeing my kids' kind of creativity come online right now, and I feel like 3 is definitely the time where you start taking weird, disparate ideas, jamming them together, and making a brand new thing. And so, I mean, as far as just seeing the world and making your own ideas out of it, it was definitely. I remember this is like one of my earliest memories, being 3 years old and learning about fossils.
Yeah.
And we used
That
to
was a
live
big
in kind
deal.
of like, it's huge. We lived in like East County, San Diego at the time, and I had all the dirt and like outdoor space to run in I could possibly want. And I was gonna make my own fossils, and so I made some mud, and then I took a bunch of rocks and I buried them, with the plan of coming back when I was older to find my fossils, not knowing that A, fossils are already rocks, and B, it would take thousands of millions of years.
It would take years and years and years to make it.
But I remember like that sort of idea of like I'm gonna make something in the dirt with like what I have on me.
I just remember, like, as a
Go
kid
ahead.
too, I'd bury things and be like, I'm gonna go get those. I never went back. I
Yeah,
just forgot where I
fine.
buried them.
Yeah, but that's like pirate treasure is such an appealing concept to little kids because you're
Mhm.
burying stuff that's secret and you're gonna find it later and it has some sort of value to you. Like,
Especially because like kids have such short-term memory too, so like for them to remember that and like make a map and be like, it's this a whole new adventure to them.
and a map that makes any sense a week later.
It's also very good.
There's like that, but now there's that writing element. There's that art element of designing a map. Like you have an artifact that you're creating. So there's that element of play that goes into all of it that I'll be honest, as an adult, I've lost and I'm now trying to like find my way back into. That like I watch my kid constantly. He's just on and he's dropping bombs every 5 seconds. I'm like, how did you come up with that? That's fantastic.
I think
I feel left out because I'm the only one here without a kid. I mean, I'm not rushing to go have one now just to be in the cool kids group here, but
get one right now.
if the doctor did his job right, that's not even an option.
Good point.
we're not happy. We're not going back into the bathroom right now. Sounds about right. I remember like my first memory of like drawing and doing stuff was with my dad. My dad was big into Nintendo and he was playing Zelda and he needed someone to draw maps and write things down. I couldn't write things down, but I could draw. So I could draw like the rooms and where the enemies were and draw like what they look like. So my dad had like a whole spiral notebook for Zelda of just my doodles and maps and where things were. And he'd be like, you have to count. Remember, it's like 13 squares over. And I'd have to like draw out 13 boxes and do all that. And he's like, you really haven't stopped since then. And it's like, he's right. He kind of got me doing it. So yeah, maps and treasure and adventure always is going to lead to some good stuff.
I remember I was probably 10 playing the like point and click adventure game of the Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, I think it was called. Sierra had this Indiana Jones adventure game. I remember going back and like basically making a comic book version of it, and it was just me drawing out everything that happened in the video game as a real sketchy, scrappy little comic. It wasn't, all that creative because I was literally just copying what happened in the game. But it was a big deal to me. I had a ream of paper of just this weird comic I was doing.
I remember the point and clicks back then, like Super Monkey Island and some of those other ones were great.
Dude, Secret of Monkey Island got me started on gaming in general. I'm actually way more of a game nerd than I am like an artist, I would say. I can draw a bit, and I'm on the show doing what I do. But like my position's more of a post position. Like I'm not a board artist. I'm not a designer. We're taking animation that's already been done and polishing and blessing. So I'm the first person to tell you, like, I'm not the draftsman that a lot of other artists on the show are. But yeah, we all have our places.
But it's a technical skill, man. Not everyone can
do
that. I sent you your board, and you were like, "Yeah, you gotta uppercase that." And I was like, "Yep, a retake guy would catch that. He would catch the small details that need fixed."
Attention to detail and catching little things like that. We're going a frame at a time, 24 frames a second. We're in the nitty gritty, which is why sometimes when you guys post your trivia or when we do trivia stuff at work, I got nothing because I wasn't there for what the name of someone's cat was, but like we're going frame by frame looking at the minutia, so it's a little bit of a different skill set.
We had some of your buddies on the show. We had like Chong and we had Brian Wiley and we had John, I think it was Coffee was his last, or Kaufman, and he was on the show. Yeah, he came on to do trivia with us, and I think we did deep dives, and they were like, "Oh, we're doing that." And I was like,
and we won. We won.
We did win. We did win, but we were like, we may have gone a little bit hard because we were like, no, we want to make sure they know that we know our stuff. But it's like, I think they were doing like a gentleman's friendly match. We were like, oh.
We were like Peyton Manning in that SNL skit where he was just chucking balls at kids. That's how we
How'd you catch that?
But no, I was under the impression that we were playing for each other's jobs. So we thought we were going to be employees.
We were going for
Brian Wiley sets up our like in-house trivia once a month. and he goes hard. Like he knows all of it. So
We taught him well.
We did teach him well.
We have an open invite to anybody who wants to come try us as far as like Bento and Bob's goes. I think we've scared him away. That's on us.
I'm hoping that someday if we ever visit the studio, we can just host a trivia and like join in the fun a little bit and see how everyone else plays.
That would be really cool. I'm sure you would. You'd give them a run for their money. I'm not that guy. I'll tell you that much.
Maybe we'll do the version where you wager points, and maybe that'd be a little bit better.
That'd be cool.
How confident are you in this answer? Because there'd be some where like, we're like, Simon, we picked this episode because you directed it. He's like, I directed that one? He's like, oh man, he's like, that's not helping
everything
me
we
at
work
all.
on is we're so far out from it that by the time it airs, I mean, I haven't touched it in a couple months. Board artists haven't touched it in almost a year. So it, you know, things get a little fuzzy, and also it changes so much between, you know, the writing and then the actual animating of it, and then when it gets to air, lots of stuff's changed. So it's tough to hold on to those details.
Plus,
Ryan
like,
has the brain.
Like, I don't think, for an example, last time we did trivia, I think one of the questions that I had was, what is Miss Schnur looking at on her computer screen? It was just like a quick blink and you miss it thing. It was gnomes, by the way. But that's not something we'd expect, like, people. Yeah, write that down.
Write it down.
But like when we do it, we try to do it in a way that'll embarrass the other host for not knowing it. So that's
it's really a pride thing for us. It's like who's gonna know what and who's gonna stump who. And they're crazy enough though, there are fans that if we do like, what grade is Louise in? We'll get messages that they're like, that was too easy. Where are your hard trivia questions? And we're like, well, we gotta make sure everybody has fun.
Yeah.
Anytime we think like, oh, like let that slide, we don't need to fix that. Someone will be like, no, Reddit's gonna see it, man.
We'll catch it.
You gotta bring it.
We'll catch it.
We posted we posted the promotional photos from episode 300, and there was already people just picking stuff out from the promo photos, going, wait. This doesn't make sense. But we'll see how it all plans out, because we haven't seen the episode, of course.
Is there a 300th episode coming up? I haven't heard.
I don't know if you've heard. There's some photos floating around, and maybe there was a party at the studio.
It looks like AI had some fun with these photos because everyone was there except your boys here. But
weird.
I haven't checked the mail in a couple days or my inbox, so maybe it got lost in the mail.
Maybe it's in our junk mail.
No big deal.
Just
So did school help or provide any outlets for you to show your creative side? Like, was there someone in your life that helped support your creativity and helped you like get to the next level or kind of direct you there?
Oh God, I'm not very directable. I'll say that much. I especially now, I'm gonna keep bringing it back to being dad. It's everything right now, but like just trying to control my own little chaos gremlin. I totally understand and sympathize with the adults in my life, just trying to keep me moving in any one direction. Oh boy. So there were definitely some. As far as the creative outlet goes, both my parents are musicians, and so we were always playing music, like 3 generations deep, trumpet players.
Oh, nice.
Nice stuff going on. Not a lot of visual artists in there. My great uncle, who just passed, was an actor, and he also did hair and makeup here in LA in like the 60s and 70s. So he was definitely like a push in the direction of theater and the arts generally. I loved coming up here to see him do like kind of regional theater, and from a pretty young age, like 6 or 7, he catch little TV extra bits he had and come and see the plays he was in. I absolutely loved that, and that was a window into much more of the visual arts and the creative arts, the theatrical arts that my parents ever really kind of got into. So he was a big push. Fine art and kind of drawing. As my best friend in the world is my friend Abigail. We met probably in 7th grade, I want to say, and she was just drawing constantly. And by the time we got to high school, we were in art clubs and we were doing like community art center stuff. And she was painting and drawing up a storm. And that was kind of the point where I was having, like, high school, I was really trying to decide, what your future is going to be.
Yeah.
In addition to being musicians, my parents were both engineers. And so,
Mm.
like, I was really kind of in the zone of like, oh, I guess I better be an engineer.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of pushing away art as a life choice at that point. Abigail was really the one that kind of like was going for it, and I learned a lot from her, but it took years and years for me to come back to it. So it was sort of a thing of like I actively chose to not follow any kind of artistic thing, and wound up going to college for mechanical engineering for a little bit.
So I know being in California is the right place to be, but did you see art or animation as a viable career option for you? Not just like, oh, I don't know if I have the skills, but just as like oh, that's so far removed from what I do. I don't think I can even get in a position to do it.
I think it was just sort of so alien as like a job, as something you would see as a career. I didn't think of it. I mean, literally until I was 25, 26. I mean, it took me like 8 years to get my bachelor's. I was bouncing around. I did 2 years mechanical engineering, then 2 years of theater. Then I was like, all right, well, I got this sort of theater certificate, great, but what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
Oh, we're a thespian now.
Yeah, right. Community college.
Yeah.
A community college that had some very fine attendees, but I wasn't one. But then, I had to kind of reboot and figure out what I was doing. At 24, I was working at a record shop. I was hanging out. I was living with my parents. Yeah, Tower Records, rest in peace.
Yes.
But, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I knew I liked video games, and I just read some magazine article or something that was talking about game design as a major. And they showed it as some...
That's unfortunately a train.
Oh,
several miles from my house, but
I'm just glad you heard it too.
As a therapist, I can check on you if it wasn't existing. So you guys get something?
Boxcar kid over there, JB. What the hell? Who has a train anymore?
I'm Midwest, man.
Freaking Ohio, man.
It's such a vibe, though. I like it. It's really
yeah. Usually.
But so I was. Where was I? Oh, I was talking about game design. So like, I was really considering video game design as sort of what I wanted to get into. I mean, if we're honest, the reason I got thrown out of San Diego State was Tony Hawk 2 and Grand Theft Auto 3. They were way more interesting than calculus and literature.
Yes.
So slightly, but yeah, I get it.
Yes. I think they would agree with you.
So I kind of was like, I love this. I love games, and this is sort of, something I'd never heard of. So that's when I completely rebooted my college career, got an associate's in fine art from the same community college in San Diego. And then, I was looking at game design programs.
Nice.
Kind of wherever. I've been in San Diego my entire life, so I wanted to see something other than California. So I was looking at colleges in San Francisco, Chicago, and Savannah, Georgia. Yeah. And so San Francisco is cool, love it, but I wanted out of the state. I honestly didn't know if I could hang with a Chicago winter.
Yeah.
Those are rough.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Not really. So I didn't want to go there. Savannah's right on the same line with San Diego.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you know what? Sure, let's check it out. Also, one of my favorite movies, I don't know how it landed in my lap, but at some point I got into Midnight in the Garden of Good
and Evil. Yes.
Kevin Spacey being what he is, we'll let that lie. But the rest of the movie is so good.
Yes.
And I just fell in love with the idea of the town. Savannah's bonkers. Savannah's a nutty place.
It is.
And then I went and toured the college and just fell in love with the town, fell in love with the whole area. And what was weird was I realized that game design as a major, they were either all coders or like hardcore like game designers, like making their own board games, coming up with new mechanics. They were really into like game theory. and I wasn't quite me. The floor above the game design floor was the animation floor.
Mm.
And we took the tour of the building. We went up there because I was already like registered as a game design major. Toured the animation floor, found my nerds, just my family of people I needed to be around, and immediately changed my major. This is it. This is where I'm going to be.
Yeah,
And
I would
that
say
was probably
you made the better choice. Video games seem to be a little hit or miss
It's a
as far
shaky
as
ground right now.
I mean, if you want to get into it, animation's not exactly rock solid right
you
now.
know, very
No.
true, very true.
But you
It
know,
seems like the arts in general are kind of under attack currently.
yeah, there's a lot of just, I mean, good or bad, whatever you think about it, AI is gonna change a lot, and so the ground is shifting.
Yeah.
I'll say that without making any more statements about it.
Savannah's a lovely city, though.
Mhm.
Haunted is all get out.
Yeah.
Right?
Haunted is all get out. But it's
You
very
don't have
nice.
to air quote it. It's rated one of the most haunted places.
When I moved there, I understood there was going to be a lot of Civil War history. Completely forgot that Georgia was one of the original 13 colonies, and so moving into Revolutionary War history was nuts. Growing up in a place where like the oldest buildings from 1920,
yeah,
moving to the East Coast, you're like, oh, they got some history out here.
Yeah. Like that history you read about. Yeah, it's
yeah.
But it's such a low. I used to live in South Carolina, and I'm currently in Florida, so it's not terribly far from there.
No.
But yeah,
so
every time
in downtown Savannah, I accidentally wound up in South Carolina. So.
Yeah, and then you got to go over that
street.
You got to go over that giant bridge that goes over it, and I was like, oh, kill yourself. I'm not doing that. That's stupid.
You don't have a choice. You're on a one-way street, and all of a sudden,
I know.
Just goes to the bridge. Cool. I guess I'm in South Carolina now.
Yeah.
45 minutes later.
You're just sitting right on the river's edge. You like that's South Carolina right over there. You guys don't know. Yeah, lovely. And yes, haunted everybody. I don't know, whatever. Oh my God. We jumped around. I say that even though I've had my own experience. And I still dismissive about it. So.
You're going to get emails.
Bring it, internet. What are you gonna do? Cancel me? Nobody watches this.
The ghosty people are coming for you.
Yeah, we're a ghost hunter emailing us.
Listen,
we were doing a night in this place. You spent a night here.
We were doing something in South Carolina. We had to deinstall my wife's show, and on the way back, as like a thank you, because she knows I'm into like ghosts and stuff. She's like, "Hey, I booked us a hotel in Savannah. It's like the halfway point." I was like, "All right, bet, cool. We got a hotel." It's like, "Hey, it's one of the most haunted ones in Savannah." And like, I'm really cool when you don't actually have to do stuff, but then when like something's booked and now we have to go, then I'm like kind of chicken shit about it. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe there was a ghost, but who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. Just sheer speculation.
Scared the shit out of me, but I don't know. Oh my God, we jumped around so much. I don't know where we are.
Sorry, I do that.
No, you're fine. That's on us.
No, you're good.
Keeping track.
So
we'll just start in career. How about that, JB?
How about
we could probably do that.
Oh, sure.
Because really, other than that, I was just curious about the stop motion stuff. But
yeah, please.
But we kind of got into that. Did it really kind of take off at Scadmore?
Yeah, it was really the walking into the stop motion room, because everything, especially at that point, was so CG centric. It's just rows and rows and rows of computers. There's one room that's their stop motion room. I don't know if they still have it, but it was just wall to wall, the wildest shit you've ever seen. Sculptures, pieces of rocks, old molds, puppets, like set pieces. It was like being back in theater, just on a small scale. If you've ever walked through like a theater prop shop or a scene shop, it's a collaboration, an amalgamation of everything they've ever built there that they're holding on to just in case. Mm-hmm. That was the stop motion room. It's a surreal place to walk through. And I absolutely fell in love and said, I want to be here. And that's what I love about stop motion is it's you get to animate, but you're building physical items first. Mm-hmm. So I get to play the power tools, I get to sculpt, I get to work with wire and weird chemicals and make molds and silicone and all that kind of stuff. And then you get to build sets. And so you're building tiny little theater sets. And then you get to shoot it and you're animating, but you're not animating like, cerebrally with like paper. You're doing it straight ahead. You're doing it with your gut. You can use Dragonframe and any of the new softwares that they have to do that. But like doing it cheap with nothing but a camera is such a wild thing.
Yep.
And and then you see it when the first time you see it come to life on a screen. We all have weird god complexes. Like animators love the idea of being able to manipulate and move and bring something to life. You know, the old school men always talk about, like, you know, the illusion of life. You're bringing something to life.
Mhm.
It's a powerful feeling, and so that stop motion hooked me because you get to build your own little world with your hands and then watch it move and breathe and think. It's a wild feeling.
It always seemed so mad. I mean, because you see stuff like Nightmare Before Christmas and all these other stop motion things, and you're like, oh, this looks so cool. But when you realize that's somebody in there, shot after shot, going
Moving it.
he's moving ever so slightly, and you're like, why would anybody do that? It seems so.
It's completely passion driven.
Yeah, like it's for love of the game at that point.
Absolutely.
I mean, you see it like even in the Oscars now, because like stop motion is usually one of the animated films that's up for usually an award. Because they had like Fantastic Mr. Fox, that one studio does like Kubo and all those other ones.
If for no other reason,
Paranorman and all that, they do great stuff.
People recognize how much work goes into it, and just the technical skill involved is off the charts because you're doing everything.
Yeah.
You're
even watching behind the scenes, it's crazy. Just like the minute changes and like having to move the hair and then move this and then move that and then make sure the lighting is right and then like click and then they do it again. It's like we do this for for hours.
Yeah. When I was at SCAD, they brought in one of the Paranorman puppets for us to check out. Coraline? I think, yeah, it was Coraline. Paranorman.
Yeah, Coraline too.
It was the Coraline puppet we got to check out, and it is a tiny. What they're doing to Leica is wild. Like tiny 3D printed clockwork heads that like you stick a Allen wrench in the ear and crank it a quarter turn, and the eyebrow goes up. Like
yeah,
3D printed removable jaws. So they're doing replacement animation with the jaws. They've gotten to the point now where they're 3D printing in color, so they can, just print the thing right off the bat with the color already in there. At the time of Coraline, they were printing it one color, and she had like almost microscopic divots in her cheek where the freckles were, and someone would go and wipe in the freckle color and then wipe it off, and what would be left would just be the perfect little freckles in her face.
It's incredible.
What?
Yeah. Jesus. No.
What blew my mind was when I was working at the Kyotos, we were doing something, and again, they were using software, they were shooting everything digitally. I don't remember if it was Ed or Steve, one of them was talking about doing it back in the day, and they'd be shooting on actual film, and you had to get that developed. So you would shoot it on film, not see it, you'd have no playback, you wouldn't know what you shot. You'd send it out 2 weeks later, you'd get a can back and watch what they just shot. And if frame 72 was fucked, they had to shoot it all again.
Yeah.
Yeah. How any stop motion got done pre-digital era?
This is insane.
That's insane.
It's the wildest thing. And then you go back and watch Star Wars.
That's like months and months and months of just waiting.
You watch Harryhausen stuff, and some of it, I mean, especially being a retake guy, we go back and watch stuff frame by frame, and you get a little picky, but then you have to remind yourself, like, this was a completely different world, completely different era, and the technology wasn't what it is today.
Yeah.
So they had to, and also the budgets were tight, so you didn't have the money to reshoot something.
So unless it was like a crucial reshoot, they're like, it's passable.
Yeah. No, you let a lot of stuff slide. So there's jitter, there's crawl, and I love that. And I want to say this. I love the Leica people and what they do. I think it's gotten a little clean for my tastes. I think Leica works.
So it's missing some of that human piece.
So you want to talk about Fantastic Mr. Fox? Like that, I love. They kept the fur crawl. They kept the jitter. They keep what makes that art form special. And I love jittery, creepy, crawly CG or stop motion.
Yeah.
It just looks more real.
I mean,
you know what you're looking at.
It also adds another layer to the storytelling that it just isn't there if it's just like a clean, like shot for shot thing. Like you get that little jitter that's like, oh, this is a suspenseful scene, and the fact that the camera's a little jittery too makes the camera seem like a character in and of itself. who's going through all this too. So the imperfections are what make these things so memorable, of course.
And it's the fingerprint of the studio. Those imperfections change from studio to studio, from animator to animator. That you could almost call it like the fingerprint of the DNA of the studio on what those imperfections are and how they look. If you look at old Gumby stuff, like there's fingerprints in the clay. You can literally
you can see it on the clay because they're moving
Clokey,
it.
Yeah, you can see Clokey's fingerprints in there. And that's so cool. That we don't get that.
Now obviously 2025, it's not something you're doing now, but did you ever, or have you ever wanted to just maybe do something on your own, like your own stop motion thing, just as like a fun little sharpening those skills?
Yes, I have a little short I'm working on right now, kind of as a
proof of concept.
We'll call it an exercise. That I really want to do. Some stop motion or I guess we'd call it some stop motion set pieces with 2D animation over it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Harmony is so powerful in that you can bring in anything you want. You can bring in 3D models, you can bring in video footage, and then animate right on top of it. And then comp it right in there if you want.
There you go, folks. Bob's Burgers stop motion confirmed. I'm joking, of course.
That was literally a question I had. Would you ever want to do a stop motion Bob's Burgers episode?
Me personally, sure. Why not?
I bet Lauren would be
your mouth to Bob's
guy. He'd love that.
I'm not the decision maker, but it would be rad. I'd be totally on board with that.
Or maybe just the opening credits.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite stop motion movie or bit of media, whether it be something like well known or just something that you've seen in the past, like this was just a student project and it changed my life?
We're gonna get back into separating the art from the artist.
Of course. Hey, we all like Remix to Ignition, but we all hate R. Kelly, okay? I think.
Yeah. The Seven Faces of Dr. Lau is probably what got me into, like, really into stop motion. Write it down, check out the trailer.
I'm just gonna Google it real quick.
It's got Tony Randall playing Dr. Lau.
That checks out.
This is some full-on.
Oh,
yellow
Eric!
face. I know. The movie
as the resident Asian of our duo here, Eric, come on.
I'll have to side with Mike here.
He's playing 7 different roles in this movie. It's a beautiful Western fantasy, weird ass. It could have been a Twilight Zone episode, but it's so bonkers. Just watch it. I can't really begin to describe how great a movie it is, but it's a beautiful, weird Ray Bradburyan story. That definitely, like, I don't know why, but they would show it in reruns on the Disney Channel in like the late 80s. I think we had like a ripped copy on beta that I just wore out. And so that opened me up to like a whole world of fantasy, of storytelling, of parables and myths and all kinds of stuff. Because this one actor plays Dr. Lau, but he also plays a Yeti. He plays Merlin. He plays Apollo. He plays a weird snake. God, what are the Medusa is in this? A stop motion Medusa. With all these like crazy things going on. Like it's so many things jammed into one little story. I love it.
It looks
I'm
wild.
Always down for
it
that.
looks wild.
I probably would watch it. I'm all into that.
I hope someone finds a way to recreate it in a more conscientious and
yes, Michael B. Jordan plays Dr. Lau.
Maybe not.
We'll get it done. Okay.
Do we need Jordan Peele to do this?
Yeah, a gritty Dr. Lau remake.
A horror-y kind of like psychological.
Surely there's an Asian director and lead that we can find. There's it says something.
Is this Miyazaki's final work?
Perhaps. We'll just go and read it.
All So you started your career in 2010, and like many animators, worked on a variety of projects, including animation, stop motion, of course, fixing puppets, sculpting characters, working for the WWF. I'm not calling it the WWE, and on Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson, just to name a few. Obviously, these are all different experiences, but how did each one kind of mold you into what you would eventually be doing?
Oh wow.
And if you'd
I
like
mean,
to
what-
just nitpick each one, we could do that too.
Yeah, you can do that
yeah,
too.
totally. I just bounced around a lot when I first moved up here. I got an internship at the Kyoto Brothers, and got to work on some cool stop motion stuff there. They were actually doing like a live action puppet show, a pilot they were shooting. And so after I got done helping in the mold shop, helping them, with the molds and creating those puppets, they kept me on for the shoot, and I got to puppet wrangle. So my first real paid job for them was wrangling the puppets on set, making sure they were where they had to be, that the puppeteers had them, that all the props and stuff were in the right spot. So that was it wasn't animation, but it was the skills I picked up as a stop motion guy was kind of in there. Weirdly, one of the puppeteers on that show was like, "Hey, you went to school for animation, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, there's a 2D studio looking for 2D people." And so I just bounced over to there and said, "Hey, I'm available." I honestly had about 2 weeks worth of Flash experience at that point. Like, I wasn't a 2D animator.
2 weeks is 2 weeks.
And I knew animation. I had animation 101. I'd done the pencil and paper thing, but when you're fresh and you don't have a network and you don't know anybody, you're scraping for any job you can get. So I was like, sure, put me in. So it was a small web cartoon studio in Burbank that I went and worked. It was maybe 20 people in a little garage, working web cartoons and doing Flash cartoons. So that kind of bounced around over to there. What's cool is the people that were working at that small web studio that's now defunct and gone were Ryan Shaw, who's now one of the I guess he's one of the assistant directors on Bob's. Chris Boren, who's one of the board artists. Jeff Zickery, who's one of the animators on Bob's right now. They all, and this was 11 years ago, so 12 years ago now. They spread out. Network grows. Once you kind of get a gig at a studio, everybody goes their little separate ways. But now you've got little feelers of people you used to work with that all sort of are other places, and they're your foot in the door to these other studios. So be nice to your coworkers.
That's what we always hear is like, animation is such a small world that a bad reputation will travel so fast. Like word of one will travel so fast.
Facts.
Yeah,
absolute facts. Yeah,
I think we were talking to Tom Riggin, and he was even saying, like, if you have a reputation in this town, you could have the best skills and be the most amazing animator and animate fast and efficient and be great. But if your attitude sucks and no one wants to work with you, you're not going to be working. They'll take someone who's ambitious and wants to work and is willing to learn versus someone who's stuck.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can possibly learn. Is just be nice and have fun and don't be a dick about it.
So with that first gig, was it you saying, "Yeah, I totally know all this stuff," and just kind of learning on the go, or were you like, "Hey, not for nothing, I'm 2 weeks fresh here, I kind of know this stuff," or was it just like, "No, I know, like I know Microsoft Excel"?
Like a little bit
of column A, a little column B.
Yeah,
it's definitely, you got to build yourself up a little bit, but you can't overpromise. We definitely had a few people come in, overpromise, underperform, and they'd be like, "Did you make up your resume? What is this?" So especially in those early years, you have to have a bit of wild confidence and just come in there and take your best shot. But at the same time, like, I don't want to say producers. What do I want to say about producers? There are a lot of times where they are asking for like 5 years experience in a software that's only been out for 2 years, and you're like, "What do you want me to do, pal?"
Yeah.
There's little things like that where it's like you got to have experience to get experience. You got to get experience to have it. So that I'm not saying lie to your employers.
Hey,
have some confidence in your work and do your best.
I think we had Peter Paul came on, and he was talking to us about how he got onto Space Jam, because we're getting to Space Jam 2 with you in a minute. But he was talking about Space Jam, and he literally he was working and doing something at Warner Brothers that had nothing to do with animation, but he could draw a little bit. And they're like, does anyone know how to animate? Because we need a lot of animators. So he's like, I can do it. And he could draw a basketball, but they're like, make it bounce. And he's just looking over the other person's shoulder, watching them do it. And they're like, do you want me to show you how to do this? And he's like, yeah, show me. And then that's how he got his first job in animation, was just basically just learning from someone else real quick in like 2 weeks. And now he's like,
I was at this little web studio. Yeah. When I was at this little web studio, they had some fast overturn. There were a lot of people coming and a lot of people going. And there was 1 month where like 4 or 5 of the more seasoned animators just bounced out. And so I went from being an unpaid intern to pretty much being the guy in control of this one web show.
Ooh, this is sounding like Spaceballs.
They gave me boards on a Monday, and I would give them a finished 3-minute cartoon on a Friday.
Jesus.
Like the turnaround was nuts. And I remember Ryan Shaw was sitting like kind of adjacent to me, and I was comping the show in After Effects. I had almost never used After Effects. And every 20 minutes, like, Ryan, what am I doing? How is this working? And so it was a lot of, relying on your coworkers, never being afraid to ask a question if you honestly don't know. And 9 times out of 10, someone who does know is eager as hell to let you know how it's supposed to be done. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of learning on the job sometimes where you're like, how is this supposed to work? What am I doing? And even still, I've been on Bob's for 4 years now, 5 seasons, and I'm still learning stuff where I'm like, I didn't know the software did that. It's so dense. There's so many things. There's always a new way to do stuff. I've gone and taken like intro harmony classes, and I'll walk in and I'll know the person teaching the class. And they're like, why are you here? I'll be like, dude, I pick up something new.
And as fast as technology moves, by the time you learn one thing, there's 3 other things that have already taken its place. You're like, well, shit, what am I doing?
And they upgrade tools, they change tools, they add new tools, and you're like, I don't know how that works. You either fiddle with it or you find someone who knows better and you tell them.
Yeah.
What is this?
I just found out Procreate does shadowing. You don't have to sit there and change the color and do it. You can actually just pick your light source and like draw the line, and it will shade it all for you. And it's like,
killer.
I've been just an idiot for years, just doing it by hand.
Well, I mean, we get people who ask us, and this is on a much different scale than what you do, of course, but like podcasting and doing like the streaming stuff and X, Y, and Z, like we wouldn't know where to begin. I'm like, listen, my friend, we stumbled backwards into this. It's literally punching dials until you figure it out. We still haven't figured it out.
I talk to, I'm always like, I think we were done a disservice by the 1980s. I've spent my whole life looking for my Yoda, looking for my Mr. Miyagi, and you always are like, oh, I'm just going to be some punk kid who stumbles into a situation where someone who knows more than I do is going to give me all their... No. You have to sort of do it yourself, do it wrong 5 times, and then it's going to get better.
It's weird you bring that up, because I was thinking about this the other day, and this has nothing to do with nothing. This is just something that I was thinking about the other day. At what point, and just in life in general, at what point should we start feeling like adults? I'm 40.
I'm knocking on that door, Mike. So
I'm 40, and I still can't figure it out.
I'm 43. I'm right there with you, man.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, there's definitely...
I'm the young one here, man. That feels weird. And I got more gray in my hair too. That's
and
weird.
Y'all have kids, so that's a whole other layer of crazy on top of that.
Yeah,
but like,
they send you home from the hospital without a book. There's no YouTube thing.
No,
they just give you a kid.
Now, I'll ask that at the end of the show. But I know me and Mike have talked about this as well, where like you went into your art and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna double down. I'm gonna go to SCAD. I'm gonna do this. And then like, as you were talking about your college career, I'm like, yeah, I bounced around. That was like 7 years. I had an art, like literally an art minor, history minor, psych major, soc major, and like had all these things and did all these classes. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And I think it's because I wanted my Yoda or my Mr. Miyagi. or Master Splinter, whatever you want to use as reference wise. But like, I met him and he worked at Disney, and he was so jaded at that point that he was just like, "Don't do it." And I was like 10 years old and just crushed and was like, all right, I guess I don't really know what I want to do anymore. So I stumbled into like what I do now and love it, but it's like, it just kind of happened. But I still draw on stuff, but like, I always wonder, and I know Mike does too, like, what if we had just done the thing that everyone we interviewed did and just went into it?
I don't want to make an argument for nepotism, but
you can.
I will say the one thing nepotism has going for it is that the parents in these situations have already done the hard thing and they know how it works. So what those kids have going for them is network and access, but they also have someone in their corner who's already done it and is telling them you can do it too. There's no magic. You get in there and you try and you do it.
Yeah.
Then the nepotism happens and they have way more access to the avenue. Maybe some people don't. But like, I can absolutely see me encouraging my kid to do more art and to give him a leg up that he doesn't have to figure out some of the nuts and bolts of how to. He's just going to start with, a million yards ahead.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like, I mean, nepotism as a general concept, it's all right, but that's just a parent looking out for their kid. At the end of the day, it's like, for the most part,
on some level, sure.
Yeah. But like, why wouldn't you want to help your kid out and not have to go through the same struggles as you? Obviously, there's exceptions. There's some shitty people that don't deserve the job.
This discussion is stemming from the guy without kids and doesn't want one. But
listen, guys, let me tell you what you're doing wrong. All right, just give your kids a job. It's not that hard. All right.
Yeah.
We need
Say what you will about nepotism. It's just good parenting.
I'm just letting you know, having a kid seems pretty easy. What did? Now, when I saw this, I was interested in the WWE of it all. Was this like the animation side? Was it like Triple H meets Scooby Doo, or were you doing stuff for live action WWE? Or
so what it was it was actually called Camp WWE.
Okay.
It was it was a 2D show that they did at Stupid Buddy Studios. And so it was the concept was it was a lot of the newer era of wrestlers as like 8-year-olds, kind of like a Muppet Babies, not babies, but young kids where they're at summer camp. And then a lot of the 80s era wrestlers are like the camp counselors. So you've got Sergeant Slaughter and Ric Flair running around like being counselors. And then God, I'm blanking on his name. Vince McMahon was the kooky owner of the camp that's like about to lose the property, and he just has to come up with a way.
The talent show to save the day.
Exactly, all that. And so they had, I'm forgetting, they had a couple of real voices. I don't remember I don't think Vince did. Maybe Vince did his own voice.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm blanking now. It was so long ago. There were a couple actual wrestlers they had in doing their voices. The kids were all voice actors. But then, like, I remember at one point they had Triple H's dad, Quadruple H, show up, and they had actual Triple H was voicing Quadruple H.
Of course.
So there's a lot of fun stuff. The show had so much potential. It only went one season. They only showed it on the WWE network.
Yeah,
that's probably why.
And so people on the network they were there to watch matches. They weren't there to watch cartoons. So I mean, it didn't get the air that it needed. It was bonkers and stupid and a lot of fun. And I loved every second of it. And I met some of my best friends that summer that we worked on that show. Because pretty much everybody on that retake animation team, we started a D&D group.
Oh.
And like the assistant editor on the show was our DM. And then me and one of the retake guys, his girlfriend, a girl who was the PA, and then the main editor on that show were all like the party. And so we just wound up playing D&D for like 2-3 years after that together. And I had drinks with them last night. Like, I'm never going to forget those guys. That crew was cool. WWE was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're trying to get a D&D thing going, like a virtual thing. And Jay Caston said he'd be our DM. So we gotta figure that out. It's been like 2 years in the making, but
it's like a Bob's Burgers themed one too, where the Belchers and Teddy are playing, and it's like we had a whole story. It's just we don't know how to like shoot it and do it. We just need someone to animate the whole thing as a short.
in
Sure, why
stop
not?
motion.
I'll get right
In
on that.
stop motion.
Appreciate it.
With
Appreciate
action
Eric.
figures. Just be like, "Ugh."
Yeah,
I'll whip it up over a weekend for you guys.
yeah.
Appreciate it. You also worked on a few bento box shows along the way, including Paradise PD, Legends
Yeah.
of Chamberlain Heights. You worked in retake, animation, and background during these jobs. What was it like? At this point, bento box is pretty established, right?
Yeah.
I don't have my dates here, but
It's like getting its footing.
Yeah,
pretty
it's
well
getting
right
its
there.
footing.
It was
Yeah,
getting a lot
no,
of jobs.
Bento was definitely like a real step into the adult world for me. It was my first union gig, and that was life changing.
yeah.
So when I started working on union steady shows, even if it was something that was only around for like one season,
Mhm.
or one or two seasons, my first retake gig was on Legends of Chamberlain Heights, season 2, and it was really kind of piecemeal. I was almost more of like a floater freelancer.
Mhm.
But then I got on to Alien News Desk, which only lasted one season for sci-fi.
Mhm.
And then I bounced over to Paradise after that. And so it was steady work. Bento is really good about keeping people around that they like working with. And so yeah, Bento's been a really nice family for me.
What was this another instance of like, hey, we need somebody, we know Eric, let's bring him over, or did you apply and kind of go through the whole traditional process of a new job?
I lucked out again because of the Camp WWE people.
Yeah.
There was my buddy Amit was kind of getting out of the industry. He's moved more into writing and other kind of avenues. And so they were calling him, and he was like, "Thank you, not interested. Call my buddy Eric." And so
Nice.
That's
a good friend to have.
for me. Amit Tischler, look him up. He's a genius. He's a mad scientist.
Nice.
But yeah, so it was really nice of him to put my name out there. And then I started getting work, and then once they knew me, they kept calling me back.
Nice.
So it was really nice.
Nice. Yeah. JB?
Out of the shows that you were on for Bento at the beginning, like the Paradise or Chamberlain, which one did you prefer working on or have the most fun with?
I don't want to answer that question. No comment. Dude, anytime anyone knows about Paradise PD, when I say that I worked on it, I'm like, you got a weird sense of humor, my friend. No, it's hands down Paradise. Paradise was nuts. As talented and fun as the Bob's table reads are, the Paradise PD table reads were insanity. And if you look at the cast on that show, it was Tom Kenny playing 2 roles.
Nice.
It was Dana Snyder playing 2 roles. You had Cedric Yarborough just destroying it every time. That show was way too much fun. The very first table read I ever saw in person, they had oh god, I'm blanking on his name. The guy who's the voice of Bender on Futurama. DiMaggio. John DiMaggio was there as like a background character. Watching them. Oh, we gotta mention Dave Herman, because Dave Herman. He's on Bob's a lot. He's probably one of my favorite voice actor. Like when we have guests on, he was the main role. He's the lead on Paradise PD. Watching that group of people get together and play cartoons and just read these radio plays out loud destroyed me. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen, and it was just unbridled madness every week. So that Paradise was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And then after that, we were gonna jump into that IMDb page that you did a little work on a project called Space Jam 2.
The tiny little thing.
Tiniest role. And
literally,
how did that come about? And I know you said you weren't responsible for any character changes, so we'll leave that out.
Well, we'll get to that. When I was working at 6 Point Harness on Cosmos, the Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes.
One of the technical directors on that was a guy named Dave Scarpitti, who is now a technical director on Bob's and Great North.
Such a small world.
Yeah, it's very small.
It's all interconnected.
Somehow we just can't break into this world. We just don't have any
know
of the
15
skills.
people. No. So Scarpitti bounced out, and I don't know where he wound up for a while. I was working at Bento. over COVID, Paradise PD was rolling along. We got sent home with our rigs, and we were still working. So animators were still animating strong. We never missed a day during the lockdown. But then those jobs started to dry up a little bit, and I was a little worried because, again, networking is what I do. Networking is how you get these jobs. If you're not going to lunch with your friends, if you're not figuring out where everyone is, if everyone's working remotely, how do I network properly? I was really worried about that in like July, August of 2020. I was really freaking out about where these next jobs were going to come from. I got a job. I was working somewhere else, and Scarpitti calls me, and we're just shooting the shit. And he's like, "Oh, I could really use, an assistant of some kind. We need more people on the show I'm working on. I'm on Space Jam 2." And he was just casually throwing it out there, like, "Oh, gee, I wish someone would fall in my lap." And I'm like,
I wish someone would just help me with Space Jam 2.
Bro, what are you doing? Call me now. So yeah, we got talking, and he pulled me over. Now, my role was an assistant, junior technical director. I was very low level on this.
All I heard was technical director.
Assistant.
Dude, yeah. Having technical director on your resume was not, that's the only director credit I have. But it was a nice title. And it was working on a feature film. And so I was like, let me in this.
Yeah.
A lot of it was done traditionally. They brought in a lot of heavy hitters from the 90s, Disney guys and Nickelodeon people, and Warner Brothers people that were really, really solid draftsmen, not trying not to be ageist. They don't know the software very well or at all sometimes. So a lot of my job was to act as a go-between Harmony and their pencils. I was taking their pencil scans and loading them into Harmony, or some of them were actually animating in Harmony, and I was copy pasting that into like the master file. 9/10 of what I did was copying the work of greats and pasting it into the file.
Someone's got to do it though, Eric.
Yeah, it was really cool seeing those guys their work. I learned a lot as an animator, being able to watch sort of how their brains work frame by frame, and seeing the pencils come to life, and really getting to see what they do.
Did anybody kind of take you under their wing and say, "Hey, I know you're interested. Do you want to see how the sausage is made over here?"
I don't think there was any time. I'm sure any one of them would have been lovely about it. I always mix up if it was Tom or Tony Bancroft, but one of the Bancrofts was on it. And he was really, really nice about stuff. But
they do seem both genuinely nice. I watched them on their Instagrams, and they just seem genuinely like nice guys.
Extremely knowledgeable, sweet guys. But there was no time for any of that. I had my job to do. They had their job to do.
For sure.
But I got to handle their work, and I got to look at it. I learned so much just seeing those individual lines come together and the thought processes.
Did any of their work go missing by chance, Eric?
Any cells on your wall?
The saddest part about the digital revolution is that. I love what we do, and I love how we do it, but I will forever lament the fact that we don't create the physical artifact anymore. Again, why I love stop motion. I've got stop motion puppets upstairs in my attic from stuff I built, but I don't have drawings.
Yeah. JB, who did we sit down with that said back in the day they would just throw all those animated cells away?
I was about to bring it up. Brooke Kiesling told us that.
Oh, yeah, Brooke.
Her dad owned a train shop in Burbank or in town, and all the greats in Disney and Hanna-Barbera and all that would come down, and they doing trains and making models. So her dad would talk shop, and they would just give her dad these cells to hand out to the kids, or they would just throw them away. She's like, they would just
50-60 years ago, there wasn't the culture of saving artifacts from movies. When you read stories about the ruby slippers from Wizard of Oz going missing for 40 years, when you see what happened to the original speeders from the Star Wars movies, they just sitting in a parking lot in Van Nuys for 40 years. There wasn't the economy built up around Comic-Con and all the different the collectibles. Nobody really held on to that stuff because they didn't think it was worth anything. The movie was the product.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
these
yeah.
were just sort of weird things. So
Yeah.
it's sad that there's not more of that. But yeah,
She
no,
would-
nothing from Space Jam was around to be misplaced.
Yeah, she had told us that like kids would just go into like Hanna-Barbera's dumpster and just take Flintstones and Jetsons pictures because they would just be thrown out. And I can't remember if she told us or someone else told us that Walt Disney was so annoyed at Cinderella's scene of going down the stairs, or it was either that or Sleeping Beauty. He got so annoyed by it that when it was done, he just like threw all the cells all over the room. He's just like, get rid of them. It's like it's done. It took them like months to do it, and he was like, I just don't care anymore, so just get rid of all of it.
I get that. I feel that viscerally. Right here, I feel that. Yeah, no, I've been there. I will say that the quick character design joke. The second I announced to my like Facebook page that I was going on Space Jam 2, I got emails from it was like within the same week they showed that first trailer or whatever of the character changes to Lola.
Mm-hmm.
I got the most unhinged emails from friends of mine that were like, "What did you do to Lola?" And I'm like,
this is your fault.
that decision was made 5 years ago, and I'm not a character designer. What do you want me? Get out of my emails. What are you doing?
I just got here.
I literally just got here.
First it was the green M&M, now it's Lola. Who's
What
safe?
are we coming to?
No one is safe.
No.
Ruining my childhood.
You're welcome.
Should we get into the
I think so. I think
Let's
so.
do it.
All right.
What do we got?
In 2021, you started working on a little show that many of us love, and it's one of the reasons you might be listening in right now, and that is Bob's Burgers. You get to start on that. So how did
the rest of this is going to get real awkward then, Eric?
Yeah. How did this opportunity come along? Was it kind of like, again, if you know, you know?
Yeah, it was definitely me stumbling into some lucky breaks. I'm not going to say that COVID. Not to say that COVID had some good things happen, but I mean, there was definitely some weird shift in the landscape. Matt Kalmus was, I want to say, a coordinator of some kind on Legends of Chamberlain Heights when I was there. He was working on Bob's at the time, probably as a post soup or something. I don't remember what his title was. He's now on Great North, but he was working Bob's, and so I emailed him. I had tested for Bob's at some point in between 2015, 2016. Didn't get the gig. I was very new to Harmony at the time. Definitely hadn't done much like traditional 2D animation in Harmony. Everything I worked on was rigged up until that point with puppets and stuff. So working a traditional 2D hand-drawn show was tough. So I didn't get that first test. So fast forward to 2021, I happened to be looking for work. Calmus happened to have an opening on the retake team, and so I got the gig then. I don't recall if I tested. I don't think, which is rare. But I'd been working at Bento for a long time. I'd proven myself on the shows. I knew I had worked with half that crew already at various other studios, so they knew me. So yeah, it just kind of happened. It was the right time.
So you had mentioned that you had tested beforehand and nothing really came of it. What does a test look like? Do you just like draw out a scene, or
there was an audio clip of Bob, and then I want to say the model sheet. Maybe it was just the model sheet. Yeah, and so you're just given that and a blank screen. You don't have to do a background. You don't have to do anything else. Just animate Bob saying this line.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So it was that test. And looking back on it now, I could probably do that test in 6-7 hours and have it looking good. My first pass at it, I spent a full 2 days working on this, and it was rough. And there's a reason why they didn't hire me the first time.
Is it so? When you're doing something like that, obviously you have your own style and you've worked in different styles for all these other shows. Is it hard, and I can't draw to save my life here, but is it hard to learn the language of an established show like Bob's? Like, they have a way of drawing things fans will know if it's not drawn right. Is it hard to learn that language?
We've heard
Yeah.
rumors of a character Bible, so to speak.
Yes, there's definitely every show has its own look and its own sort of vibe to it.
Yeah.
Bob's is famous for like nobody smiling. You
Mhm.
got to make sure that everyone's got like a real sort of flat expression, so they're not laughing at their own jokes too hard. You want to keep them a little more grounded in reality.
No teeth.
But with someone,
No
oh,
teeth.
yeah, no teeth, no ears for the most part.
No ears. Yep.
Was it Gene's the only one who has ears?
Yeah, Gene's the only one who's got ears.
Yeah. There's a few other ears that'll pop up every once in a while, and you're like, oh, that's odd. But like Tina is tricky because her face is so sort of flat. Her expression is so flat that if you want her to emote a certain way but not get too zany, I'm talking like minuscule moves of the mouth.
Yeah, it's like
the
barely
eyebrow,
an adjustment.
like the difference between this, and this is like a whole world of emotion for Tina.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a learning curve of not just the style of the art, but the style of how it moves and the animation. If you look at people who come in and just want to go full Looney Tunes with it, and you'll get really zany, stretchy things. We can't do any of that stuff. It's just not the world. It's not the look of the show. You can tell when someone's worked in children's animation and then comes into something like this because you'll get lots of these head turns that are like, oh, what's over there? Oh, and it's just way too much. So you have to learn the style of the show and what's in there and what you're allowed to do and what they like and what they don't like.
It's wild because as of maybe the last couple seasons and also coming off the Great North, our JB, his name's escaping me. Aaron. He does a lot of these like fluid animations and everything moves so like it looks very cinematic in his animations there. And we didn't really see that in the earlier seasons of Bob's. We saw it on the Great North, and then once he transferred over to Bob's, you can really pull out like an Aaron scene, like, oh, the way he's moving right there, that's very much an Aaron scene. So it seems like Bob's and the Great North have kind of like really taken these big swings with their animation to make things seem a little more not cartoony, but a lot more movement than it had in the past.
Yeah.
It seems just like less rigid because it's like I forget who we were talking to, but they're like everything used to be really tight. And like people would only move like this, or their arms would be always down on their side. Like Linda didn't really move her arms a lot. And now she'll do a lot of this, or she'll do this. And they're like, we kind of loosened them up a little bit, but they still have like, there's still rules about how much you can do.
Yeah. And learning how to work within those rules is really important. Understanding that time is money and we don't have a lot of either. And so really selling the scenes that we need to sell is kind of important. Aaron Humiston is a god. The guy is so good, so fast. He can just give life and acting and skill to anything he touches. So it's really cool to watch what scenes he works on come to life. And then he's also really, really kind and good at
so nice
disseminating that information to us. So the scenes I've worked on where he's just kind of been like, hey, do you know how to do that? Do you want me to do some red lines? Do you want me to help you out a little? And I'm like, yeah, please, just all the information, give me. Because every time you work with him, you learn something new, and there's definitely some value added whenever.
Is it hard that he's on the East Coast? Or do you guys just like Zoom and then you just pick his brain? Or?
Yeah, no, for the most part, it's all Zooms and just quick chats. It's difficult just because he's nice to be around, and so it's it's a bummer that he's all the way over there. But yeah, no, it's the communication's pretty seamless.
Taking a quick step back, what was it like to land the gig at Bob's? I mean, at that point, Bob's was well established
a couple times, and now you got it.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a completely different animal because you always have to hustle when you're working shows where you don't know if you're going to be on the next season, you don't know if there is going to be a next season. So working something like Bob's was a breath of fresh air that, I mean, every kind of step of my career that's been sort of involved with another life step as well. And like I'd say I didn't, we moved out of my little dinky bachelor apartment and bought a house in 2020, right around the time like Paradise was really kicking off. If it wasn't for the stability of Bob's and the sort of home here, I wouldn't have a kid. I don't think I would have made the decision to have a child if it wasn't for the stability and the family of Bob's Burgers. The steady, work has been really nice.
Yeah. I mean, especially in coming out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Just knowing that, okay, I can breathe. I have a little wiggle room here. I can breathe ever so slightly. Especially on a legacy show like Bob's.
Yeah.
Were you a fan of the show before? Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, it's funny is I still feel like the new guy on the team because no one really leaves at all. But having worked on 5 seasons and a bit of the movie, like I feel like saying that out loud, 5 seasons is a third of the run of the show. Like that's, you talk about when
5
did you become an
seasons
adult?
and 2 full-length features under your belt.
Yeah, that's not nothing. So I mean, I'm starting to feel like I kind of know what I'm doing.
So were you a fan of Bob's just in general before?
I wasn't. No, I never really watched the show.
That's not the first time we've heard that.
It's not the first time we've heard that.
Yeah, I'd heard of it. I'd seen clips. And but no, it wasn't really on my radar. Interesting. And then when I got the gig, a friend of mine who was a huge Bob's fan was like, "That makes sense. You're Gene." And I was like, "A weird kid? Thanks, I guess."
Who?
Okay. And then once I started working on the show and watching more, I'm like, "Oh, I'm totally Gene. I'm 100%."
I'm just waiting to be like, "Oh, the one with the glasses? Yeah, totally." And just gonna be like, "No."
These are actually new. This is only 6 months for me. This is a new experience of being over 40.
I just thought of an amazing idea, Mike.
Trust. Yeah, I got mine.
Our first interview question, Mike, for every person we talk to, like, "Were you a fan of Bob's before you got the job?" And they're like, "No." It's just like, and that's it.
And goodbye.
That's that.
So, at this point, before Bob's, you had kind of left Bento, working on those other projects. What was it like to come back to Bento? Or am I getting my timelines mixed up? I believe that's how it panned out.
You're absolutely right.
No, that's right.
I bounced around a bit in between.
I mean, I can't question Eric. He knows it.
Do I? I don't know anymore. It's all jumbled together. It was definitely a nice return to working at Bento Box. It was. I knew, like, I'm friends with the HR lady, Sherry. Shout out, you're the best. She loves.
Hey, Sherry.
Hey,
We're
Sherry.
cool, Sherry.
She's really, really nice, and just getting to know the people and the space and everything. I do miss the old building and that Paradise was in, because we're in separate buildings all over town. Because they had a really nice gym, and it was free.
Fair enough.
Gym at the Bob's building is fine, but you have to pay to use it. And I don't like it.
Not as good as it could be.
This is dumb and in the weeds. Never mind. Next time.
JB, I'll let you go.
So, I was wondering, when was your first episode back with Bob's? When you first started Bob's, what was your first episode you worked on?
I totally meant to research this because I knew you were going to ask that, and I completely forgot. It was midway through season 10.
Okay.
All right.
I was totally going to look this up, and I completely forgot.
If you throw out any weird thing, we may know.
We'll pick it out.
The only thing I can remember is the last episode of that season was Manic Pixie Crap Show. With
that ended up being the premiere for 11.
Oh, is that what happened? I always see, again, when you're working on something and it's months apart from when it airs.
Yeah,
I never know.
Episodes shift and move.
It's always a little shifted around. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was holding on for dear life, trying to get my game up to the point where I could stay.
Fair enough.
And I again, when you see things on a shot by shot basis as opposed to looking at a whole episode, it all kind of blurs together. I could not. If I go back and look at a list of the episodes, I can get back to you and tell you. But I don't remember. the
I
first
treat
episode.
every episode like my first episode because they're all very special to me.
Good answer. I like that one. I'm taking.
You can use it with HR.
They're all my special little babies.
They're all special to me.
I could never choose.
It's a real Sophie's choice here. Let's see. So as a retake animator, what's that kind of like in the animation pipeline? A lot of people don't understand that, like, where that lines up and how it ends up working. And usually we'll have like writers and other people on, and they're like, I'm at the beginning or I'm in the middle. And where does retake kind of fall?
We're way at the tail end of it. So we're post. This is a post production position. So the show's written, you get a script. The actors read it, they do their thing. Then the board artists get it and they board it out and decide where the camera goes, what it's going to look like, yada yada. It goes all the way out to Korea, and the Korean studios animate the thing. And what we get back is like 85% of the way there. It's most of what you're going to see. Sometimes, especially if there's any kind of action shots, the actions are a little iffy and squishy. Sometimes they need, to be plus up. Sometimes the script gets rewritten, lines will get kind of changed out last minute, and so we're going to be doing a lot of retakes, fixing lines and changing what's being said. Also, eye lines. There's going to be a lot of pupil decisions about where the characters are looking. I feel like 9/10 of my job is just fixing pupils.
Just fixing pupils.
It's subtle, but so much of the comedy of the show is done in the pupils and where they're looking when they say a line. The subtle eye darts are huge for selling a joke and getting where we need to be. So a lot of our job is that 5% polish at the end to just clean it up and make it.
Nice. Do you have a particular character you like to do or you like to work on? Like, I'm a Gene guy, or I love Marshmallow.
I mean, we know he's a Gene.
I'm definitely a Gene guy. I love animating Gene. I did a fish odor dance recently that I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, no, it was the turtle episode that came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you are safe with the turtle episode.
The end credits at the end of that, I got to do some fish odor dancing around. That was a lot of fun. I know everybody on the team gripes a little bit about Bob and Teddy just because of facial hair and arm hair. You got to keep track of all those little hairs. So that's tricky. Frame by frame of Teddy's stubble is always like, ugh. But Gene's definitely fun. Linda's always fun. Actually nothing about Tina. Tina's a lot of fun. Her that flat kind of delivery and her just the way she sees the world is a lot of fun. I did a lot of the kind of preliminary work for her granny throw for the basketball episode.
Oh yeah.
Oh nice.
I got to mess with that a lot.
God, I gotta imagine like something like that. Seeing like the net swish is a lot more work than you would think it would be. Like her singing those shots and then the basket just going.
Because you intrinsically know how something should look and how physics works. Yeah. And so if it doesn't do what you think it's going to do, you might not know how to animate it. You gotta figure out how to make it, at least sell it to not trigger the eye when you're looking at it from a non-animated point of view.
Yeah, because you don't want the viewer to focus on that and just be like, why did that look weird?
Yeah. And it's weird in cartoons because you don't always know how, Gene's going to jump around. You don't intrinsically know, how Linda's going to dance. And so however they do it, you're just going to buy it. You know how a basketball swoop works. You know how, something falling over looks. So it's those sort of subtle physics that are tricky sometimes, of like throwing a rope or throwing, something waving in the wind. We all intrinsically know how those look. And if you don't do it correctly, it's just going to ping something inside you that you're like,
It's that uncanny valley thing. Like, it looks maybe right, but it sounds awesome. That's why it's so cool to see stuff like Aaron or Simon will post like in one particular episode, Gene has to get up and like run away or something, and Simon's like I didn't know how to do those movements, so I filmed myself and how I would move, and then from there I learned, oh, this is how you move, this is how this would look.
Yeah,
so it's fun.
Aaron had
to-
like the Opus one where he's going like this,
Mhm.
and he's like, he's like, I really saw the conductors and the old things go like, yes, and he's like, I had to like slow myself down to see exactly how someone would do that, because he's like, it just would look simple like this, but it's like, no, there's a lot of gesture in that.
Yeah. There, especially with, that's a good point with any of the musical episodes where we've had orchestras and concert bands. Again, I played trumpet growing up in jazz band and concert band and marching band. Nisha Morrill, who's one of the other animators, she played strings and violin growing up. Any of those episodes we get back, we are laser focused on are the hands in the right place? Are they hitting the right keys?
Yep.
Are they breathing right? Are they holding the trumpet right? We've got some stuff where we're just like,
are you gonna ask the question about the sticks?
No, in the recent episode, the Wild Stallions episode,
that one.
the
Drummer.
kid's playing the drums. And as a failed drummer myself, it always bugs me when like you see them hit a hi-hat, but they're like hitting the bass. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And for the life of me, I cannot pick out any errors in what I'm hearing and to what I'm seeing.
And it's a decent amount of time he's drumming.
Yeah.
I don't know who did those shots, but I guarantee you Aaron Humiston went over it with a fine-tooth comb because dude plays drums.
Yes. And it's because like there's a very famous episode of The Simpsons where Bart's playing the drums, and what you hear is definitely not what he's playing, but to see that and to hear the hits, like that's definitely a snare, and you're seeing a snare. He's doing a roll on the toms, and he's doing a roll in real life. He's hitting a hi-hat, and it sounds like a hi-hat. The crash sounds like a crash, and it's that attention to detail blows my freaking mind. So
that shit drives me bonkers. Even in live action, when you see someone just like sitting there, and you're like, you're not playing that.
Yeah.
That's not how that instrument works. What you couldn't have taken one. Like, trombones drive me nuts whenever I see them because it's always like someone just holding it, and they're just playing. And it's like you gotta do a little bit of that, you know.
Or they do this and it all sounds different. Like you get a little something, but no. But you had mentioned this a little farther back. You worked a bit on the Bob's Burgers movie, of course.
Yeah.
What was your role in all of that?
It was retakes, so
it
was doing more of what I'm doing right now. We got animation back from retake from Animation Studios, and we were cleaning all that up and fixing it. It was a bit of a different animal because they had, it was so much bigger. It was so much brighter. Everything had shadows and everything had big cinematic animation. It was such a wild undertaking that you couldn't just sit there and do what we do on TV. We got to give them more. So it was beautiful and a lot of fun to work on that.
What was the difference between? I mean, obviously on Space Jam you didn't really do the work on it, but what was the experience on Space Jam 2 and Bob's? Obviously they're both two motion picture full length movies, but I assume the experiences were night and day for you.
I mean, work's the work, man. I mean,
for sure.
You're animating. As long as I'm driving harmony, I'm having a good time. Like I love the software. But yeah, it was special getting to animate because I was physically touching something that was going to be seen as opposed to my more background role on Space Jam. This is so dumb because I didn't animate this, I didn't draw it, but the scene of Linda in the movie where she's in the burger costume going, you want to get a burger, you want to get a burger. I retimed that. I didn't draw any of it. I didn't even physically move anything around. I just changed the frame rate for a couple of the frames to make her dance a little jauntier. And it was one of those things where it was such a simple fix, but it sold what she was doing, and it was such a silly moment that that's probably my favorite thing I touched in the film. And I didn't even draw it. It was just me monkeying with sliding around frames to get the feeling different. And that's something I love about animation, and specifically retake animation, is you can change the whole vibe of something and how it looks just by saying, like, this is going to be exposed for 3 frames, this is going to be in there for 2, and we're going to hit that extreme later, and we're going to do it. So that Linda segment was
Now, obviously, working on the movie, and once it's all done and your part of it is done, you move on to more things. You got episodes to work on, so you kind of are removed from the movie until it's released in theaters. Of course, we all were fortunate enough to go to the red carpet premiere of it. Absolutely amazing. What was it like seeing A, the final product, and B, your bits up on a big screen? Because obviously, working on your computer, what have you, everything seems, oh, this is work, this is work, this is work. You see it at the El Capitan, you're like, holy shit, this is so much more than I thought.
Completely surreal. Completely nuts. I don't want to complain. I've had a great ride. Animation's lovely. I love this industry.
Yeah.
We aren't rock stars. We don't get treated like that. Ever. I know you love us and we love you for loving us. But we don't get the Hollywood treatment ever. It was very apparent in that time that this was something so much bigger. Also, to get a little into the corporate weeds, Bento is owned by Fox. Fox got bought up by Disney. So we're sitting there at the El Capitan Theater on Hollywood. We're getting the Disney treatment.
Yeah.
The Disney people don't mess around when it comes to stuff like that. That premiere was rad. There was the whole red carpet event, the photographers and the thing, and I've never experienced anything like it. Probably never going to experience anything like it again. It was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, we thought it was really cool because I had got there the day of. Like, I was there like 9 a.m. and I had nothing to do. So I kind of just sat across the street just watching it all go up and going, holy shit, this is really cool. And then as a fan, to sit in the audience and to hear the 20th century theme but played ukulele, and then boom, you see freaking Wonder Dwarf on the big screen. And I'll admit this, and everybody knows who followed us for any. I cried. I was like,
we both did a little bit. We got teary eyed and we're like, dude, this is like, we're here. This is like no one else has seen this. We're here.
I cried watching the animatic, or I guess maybe it was an early color cut of the scene where they're, spoiler alert, they're in the sinkhole. That sinkhole scene. Oh my god! And my wife was pregnant at the time, so just like the idea of really stepping up as a dad. Oh, that scene wrecks me every time. So yeah, cried watching it on my computer here. Cried watching it at the LCAP like multiple times. That scene just wrecked.
Yeah, it's really cool. We from what we've heard, like Lauren made it a point, like, no, we're doing a red carpet. This is for all of us. This is for the fans. And it was really cool to see that they got that the opportunity to do that.
It was just
he just wanted to wear the big burger costume. That's all.
Of course, we all
he looked
knew.
Great in it too. But it was like just insane that like we were like all the people who worked on the movie are on that side, but now we're all mixed together, and they made a point to mix like cosplayers and people together with like people who worked on the show and the cast, and it's like you're all watching this together. And he's like, because it's without any of you guys, this does not happen. And it's like that's such a cool Lauren moment to have.
Everyone on the show, and especially the writers and Lauren, are very aware that none of this happens without you guys. None of this happens without the fan base. And like, it's just so important that they interact with that and respect that. Because I mean, I was thinking about it over the week. Like, each one of the Belchers, each one of the characters on the show represent sort of a piece of you as a human. Like, they all sort of are a different facet of the human condition. And that doesn't happen just by us, monkeying around with computers and drawing our funny little cartoons. You have to sort of respect the humanity in every single person, see that and reflect it back. Yeah, and that's what the show does. I think that's why it's lasted. I think that's why it feels unlike anything else that's ever been before.
I think it probably is what makes people so comfortable with it too, because everyone's like, it's my comfort show. It makes me feel seen. It makes me feel heard. It makes me feel validated. And I feel like I'm not alone because there's so many people that see it the same way. And it is cool to see that the show can do that. Can
you think of any other live action show or movie, any form of art that you can think of? Like, it's rare.
Mm-mm.
That's not something I've heard about anything other than like live theater experiences
Mhm.
or
And
like live music where you're part of a bigger group of people.
Yep.
and then the one thing that we like to call the Lauren verse, this includes the Great
Central
North,
Park.
Central Park, criminally underrated, and Bob's. They all show families that aren't afraid to love each other. Like nobody's the butt of a joke.
Yeah.
Nobody's shitting on anybody at the end of the day, and it's really refreshing to see that.
And everyone's just accepted for who they are and what they are. It doesn't matter. And like everyone's just like, oh yeah, that's just Marshmallow, and they just move on. And like they're respected, they're seen as part of the community, and they're just like validated for who they are. And it's like you don't
Love,
see
baby.
that in
It's all
like
about
Family
love.
Guy or other shows. It's like nah, beat
Love
up on
is big,
Meg.
respect is big.
So, are you ready to hop into Bob's Burgers the movie part 2?
Again, from your mouth to Bob's ears. Let's do it.
Fair enough.
We'll make it a stop motion feature. Why not?
Hey, a 2-hour stop
A
motion.
dream sequence of Gene in the Itty Bitty Ditty Committee in stop motion could be a fun project.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% on board.
All right, we'll send some emails.
We know some people.
So as we're getting to wrap up here, of course, we would be kicking ourselves if we didn't mention season 16 premieres in roughly less than 3 weeks at this point. Yeah, that's the math. Episode 300, of course, kicking off season 16, which is weird. Everyone's pointing out it is air episode 299, but production episode 300. We believe that's how the math is working out.
You know more than I do, man.
We were trying to figure out the mental gymnastics of like, how the hell are they doing this?
I don't know if anyone's ever said this before, but I guess one of the earlier seasons was split in 2.
Yes.
And so internally, when we're numbering all of our seasons, I think we're 1 ahead of the actual season. So I'm completely lost all the time what season I'm actually working on, what season is airing, because the numbers don't match up between like what we have in studio. Hopefully, I'm not violating any.
Oh no, we
but,
tons of folks.
But no, it's the numbering of things is magical.
Because we get asked all the time, like, why did this episode get aired here and not there? Because it's production credit this and it should be that. It's like because stuff moves around.
Also, I'm not driving this thing.
Also, it's the network's decision on which episodes air and when. So get off our backs, everybody. Did you, and obviously no spoilers, and we're not going to put you in a position to make things weird. Did you work on episode 300?
I've consulted with my lawyer.
Yes. Okay.
My answer is yeah.
Mark that down. Have you seen the final product? Or as final? Have you seen the animatics?
As final as I ever see? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Multiple times.
Awesome.
Yes.
Are we in for a treat as fans?
Yeah. Yes.
We cannot wait. We're sure there's gonna be some teary moments as well, hopefully, and some laughs along the way. So we're excited.
My favorite Lauren moment from the movie premiere was when you guys were there, and he said, "This isn't out yet. No one's seen this yet. So I want you to go talk about the movie out in public. Don't talk about the plot points. Talk about how it made you feel." That moment of Lauren saying that always stuck with me because it's such a great primer on how to avoid spoilers. So the 300th episode feels very much like the movie in that it gets me right in the heart. It makes me cry. It makes me happy to be a dad. I'm not going to cry now, I swear, but I'm right on the verge. I like it a lot. It's a really good episode.
Would you put it up there emotionally with Plight Before Christmas or Amelia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Also, don't feel bad. We had Larry Murphy on here, and he made me cry. So.
Yeah. It was a great moment.
Yeah.
Larry literally sang him Somewhere Beyond the Sea, and he literally just lost it.
What a jerk. What a jerk.
What a jerk.
What a jerk. So nice.
Yeah.
Making me cry my own tears.
It's friggin' I'm the Michael Jordan meme. I'm like, but yeah, no, we're all really excited. I mean, we know the premise, we know what's happening. We saw a little bit at Comic-Con for the panel. Obviously we're not in the business of spoiling anything.
No, we want everyone to enjoy it.
So without
I've had a couple friends come by the studio, and I've shown them clips, bits.
Uh-huh.
They sign NDAs when they come to the studio.
Of course.
Of
Of
But
course.
even then, like I'm like, we could sit down and watch the whole episode right now. We're not gonna. I
Mhm.
don't want to do that. You're
Yeah.
gonna see exactly this precise moment I want you to see, and then
Mhm.
I'm not saying anything else, and we're turning this up because I
Mhm.
want you to experience this when it happens with the world.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful moment.
We're so excited. It's so much fun, and just to hear not only yourself, like in fact in our messages, when we posted the photos, you said this episode killed me, and we were like, oh my god, in the best way, of course, everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
So to hear folks on the show talk about it that way, because you see how the sausage is made, you know exactly how long this all takes, and you see it from a non-fan perspective. To know that it still gets to you all the way that it gets to us is
Yeah.
very refreshing and fun to hear.
Mhm.
Yeah, we all
'Cause
have
even-
visceral emotional responses to what we work on because it's like I said, it's true. It's absolutely true.
Because even like we had Brian Husky on talking about The Amazing Rudy, and he was talking about that same connection. He's like, I read my lines, and he's just like, it made me want to do more takes. He's like, I want to nail this because like this is a story that needs to be told, and it's like this is a story that people live through, and he's like, they deserve that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So obviously we've seen the photos floating around, but how fun was the 300th episode party?
Yeah, no,
that was nuts. Again, we don't get the Rockstar treatment. We don't get that, and Disney brought it. We were told as a crew, like an email went out and it said, "Hey, premiere party's coming up," and we're like, "All right, cool." And then it said, "It's going to be an all-day off-site event, so like, keep your calendar open."
Yeah.
And we're like, "Oh, what the hell does that mean?"
Mhm.
And we're like, where are we going? What are we going to do? Are we going to the beach? Are we going to a park? Like, what is it going to? And then slowly we all start noodling it over and we're like, they're not taking us to Disneyland, right? No, that's crazy. And then, yeah, the announcement came out and they're like, hey, we're going to the park. We're going to have a brunch. We're going to do the thing. It's going to be great. Bring your family, bring your kids, do this. And so like, we were all super stoked. We're like, oh, cool. This is actually happening. Great. So then we get there. The biggest problem was trying to figure out how to get there at 9 a.m. because it's about, if you're coming from Burbank, it's like 45 minutes on a good day with no traffic to get to Anaheim. 9 a.m. on a Friday. Good luck.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we wound up. I think me and my family woke up at like 7 a.m. No, I woke up at 5 a.m. I was freaking
jazz. You're jazz.
But yeah, I think we left the house at like 6:37, jammed through Starbucks, filled ourselves with coffee, and drove straight down. And also, I mean, getting a 3-year-old to do anything on time is so. We got our stuff, we got packed, we got down there. You got to the Grand Californian, to one of the ballrooms down there, and there's just a full breakfast buffet. Everyone I work with and know and love is all there, and we're all in our Disney gear, ready to go, and everyone's super excited. Lauren gives a speech. There's a step and repeat for us to take photos. Lauren's giving the speech, and Adrian, one of the assistants on the show, used to be a VIP guide at the park. And Lauren's kind of like thanking him for like helping set all this up and thanking the rest of the staff for helping get this whole thing together. And he's like, we wanted to do something special for you. And then he full on Oprah's us. And he's like, turn around. And we looked to the back of the hall, and there was a line of like 20, 30 VIP guides just streaming it. And he's like, you are all going to divide up into groups of 10, and you're all getting a VIP tour of the park today.
Oh, that's dope.
That's super cool.
I mean, I don't know the number, but go online. You can figure it out. That's not cheap.
Oh, no, God,
no. Well, you get to skip lines. You get to do like they shut people down or move people around.
I mean, not for nothing, just getting all those people to the park on like a regular day pass ain't cheap.
Yeah. No. So I mean, given again we are Disney, so
of course
I don't know how the money works, but we got ourselves some VIP treatment, and it was super cool. And yeah, we got walked into every park. We got walked onto every ride. If there was a wait, it was like a minute or two, and you got walked into all this stuff. We all got divided up by age group of our or who was in our group. So I got put with the toddlers. So I was a little bummed I didn't get to hang out with all my fun friends. I saw Simon and them walking by. I'm like, "Hi, Simon, with your cocktails. You guys look like you're having fun."
You just walk by going, "Nope, don't look at him. Don't look at him."
You chose this. You chose a child.
No, I am obnoxious and loud, so I saw them. I'm like, "Hi, everybody, love you guys." But no, we got walked onto all the rides. We were going on to Monsters Inc. and our tour guide was like, "Do you guys like churros?" And I was like, and so when we got off the ride, dude had like 15 churros in a bundle, just handing them out. Giving one to my kid. I was like, "That's more sugar than this child's had in the last 3 years, but cool, go for it, rock and roll." There's a picture. It's not on my Instagram. My wife has a picture of him walking up with Dole Whips, just big piles of Dole Whip for all of us. Yeah, no, it was the most bonkers rockstar treatment ever. And
did you guys stop by Club 33 or?
No. Okay, we're cool. We're not that cool. I got in there one time when I was like 14.
Yeah.
So my best friend in high school, her mom worked for like AT&T for like 25 years. And at the time, I don't know if they still are, but they were business affiliates. So if you worked for AT&T for a billion years, you got like a pass to go and take your family to Club 33. So when I was 14, me, like 3 or 4 of my friends, my parents, I think my sister came along, and yeah, we all got to go to Club 33 for a dinner, for a sit down. That was like my one brush with Disney greatness.
That's the goal.
My first kiss was actually on the Rivers of America watching Fantasmic that night.
Nice.
Because my friend brought her cousin, and we had a lovely moment.
As you do. Yeah, that is the goal. You always hear about Club 33.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's so cool. And like,
I tried to get back in there later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a girl I was dating worked for the Disney Archive, and she was turning 33. Oh. And a friend of mine at the time was a board artist. He worked for Disney Feature. And so I hit him up. I'm like, "Hey, man, like my girl's turning 33. Can we get into Club 33? And he was like, "We don't even have access to that place anymore, man." He's like,
"It's cute, but no."
Yeah, no. Another friend of mine worked for Geico or something, and they were an affiliate. And he's like, "No, we don't get access anymore. We abused it too much. They don't let us in." Like, animators are hooligans. They don't let us in nice places.
I was like, "You can't be 33 every weekend." I'm like, no, yeah, it's my birthday again.
It's my birthday.
No, we didn't we don't match the decor anymore.
Fair enough. So obviously you've been on Bob's a couple years now, retakes and all that. What's the next step you'd like to take? And is that at Bob's, or would you like to branch out more?
I would love a retake director position, or honestly, I'd love to boost up my drawing skills and get into boards. I've been talking with Simon a lot about what that takes, and my drawing skills are getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, doing some, honestly, just creating my own worlds and creating my own shows would be really, really cool. Like I said, animation's shaky. I'm not gonna lie, like the whole industry is having a time. But I like to think that with the studios kind of changing and the streamers changing, we're getting to a point where like indie development and it feels a lot like the late 80s, early 90s of like independent film, where you're going to have smaller, tighter organizations of people making their own stuff, and that's going to be fun and fascinating. It's going to be tough. It's going to be lean, but I feel like the time is right for us to make our own stuff and to be in control of our own stories. And I would love to see what that looks like, and I want to work with my friends.
It's weird because you hear, just like you're saying, like animation's kind of on shaky ground right now, and things aren't as stable as they once were. And then you see Bob's, Family Guy, American Dad, and The Simpsons get 4-season renewals, like 4 seasons each. And you're like, holy shit, that never happens. When that came down, were you guys like, holy shit, this never happens, this is awesome? or were you like, oh, now we have to take everything up a notch? It's only 15 episodes a season now. Things are going to be moving speed of light at this point, or
I don't know. I don't want to speak for everybody else.
of course.
I'm always kind of a pragmatist. I understand that it's nice. It's really nice to have more seasons.
Of course.
But things are rapidly changing so much, and we don't know what the next. I mean, again, technology doesn't move linearly. It's an exponential thing, and so AI, what it's doing now, is not what it was doing 3 years ago.
Yeah,
and it's going to be better next week, and it's going to be even better next week. So, cautiously optimistic. It's
for sure.
nice to have a job.
Yeah,
the studio's great. The show is lovely. The people are lovely. But I mean, I'm not going to blow smoke and tell you that things are going to be.
For sure. I mean, you always got. I think it was Wayne Gretzky said, like, you gotta see where the puck is going, not where it's at right now, and kind of position yourselves in a so you don't get behind the curve there.
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like really, like, as far as me personally goes, like doing more than just animation, diversifying what I'm up to is probably going to be wise. If you haven't noticed, I really like talking about animation. You can't get me to shut up about it.
This is one of the longest interviews we've ever done for what it's worth.
My wife's outside with In-N-Out right now, wondering. She's at the window going like, "Hey, shut up."
My text me is like, "Hey, Naga, go to bed." I'm like, "Holy shit, okay."
Oh god, no, but no, I would love to teach at the college level. Honestly, one of my favorite professors in school was my history of animation professor, and I mean the class was awesome because you'd show up, you'd watch 20 minutes of goofy cartoons, and then you'd talk about it for 40 minutes. Like, who wouldn't want to do that?
That sounds like a great class, honestly.
It was the best. So moving into teaching would be something I'm really interested in, and then doing more shorts, expanding what I can do outside of the realm of television animation.
Nice. It's always fun.
I got stuff cooking. I got all kinds of stuff cooking.
That's what we love to hear. You always
pay attention in the future. There's things coming.
You always worry, at least as a fan, like, I don't know if there's any new stories to be told. I mean, every story's kind of just been told, and then you see something like Common Side Effects come around, you're like, holy shit. There's still new original stuff out there. That show is so good.
Yes.
Same studio also did Scavenger's Reign, which didn't.
Scavenger's Reign is so good.
Holy crap. Yeah, no. I will absolutely say, every time I think to myself, oh, we've done it all, we're never going to do anything new, something like Scavenger's Reign and Common Side Effects come along, something like a Blue Eye Samurai comes along.
Blue Eye Samurai is another one.
Holy crap.
Or I finally got this guy to watch Over the Garden Wall. He's like, how have I slept on that?
Where have you been?
In my defense, I didn't want to. And then I was like, you know what? Because, okay, so hold on. I'll defend myself, audience. Calm down. When I heard
Forget the audience. You got to defend yourself to me right now.
When I heard Over the Garden Wall, I lumped that in with there was this gnome movie. I think it was like Romeo and Juliet. I was like, this sounds like the exact same thing. I didn't really look into what Over the Garden Wall was. I was like, this sounds like the exact same thing. I don't want to deal with that nonsense.
You saw pointy hats and you made a judgment call.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
So I was like,
okay.
I'm not doing that. And then I was like, okay, fine. I'll give it a watch. I'll watch the first episode. And from the first ding of that piano, I was like, holy shit, this isn't what I thought it was. And then I binged the whole thing. I was like, okay, JB has a point. I'm not going to tell him, but yeah.
What a mood. That entire thing is just so haunting.
Yeah. And we're entering the season, so I'm looking forward to rewatching it again.
Yes, it's absolutely Over the Garden Wall season. The way that Bob's expresses love and family in a way that we don't really see, Over the Garden Wall does a similar thing with brotherly love and with that era of that time in your life of being like a 10-year-old, and it's autumn and creepy, but also just like danger and being lost in the woods.
Yeah,
it's so good at that.
It has an emotional depth that cartoons have no right of having. Like this, there's like real stakes here. I'm like, holy shit, that kid's
those
dead.
Last few episodes, you're just like, oh, this has got tragic. And then when you
Yeah,
start to go
absolutely.
back and you realize what has happened
Yes.
and what the whole thing is, you're like, oh, this kind of hurts now sitting with this, like
Yeah.
what this is and what this is going to be, and like the decisions that have to be made. Like this is sad.
It makes me want to go hug my little sister every time.
Yeah.
We did the when they were having their 10-year anniversary, nobody was doing anything, so we decided, hey, let's just reach out to the folks, and we did a giant panel with all the, like, some animators, writers.
Yeah, we had like 10 people on for that.
Yeah.
It was fun.
And
I want to watch that.
yeah,
It's on
it was
YouTube. You can catch it. It's good.
it was
We had a great
fascinating.
time talking to
I'm
all.
gonna dig through your guys' archives now.
We had the
We'll send you the one link.
Yeah, we had Blasting Co. We had Miranda. We had a bunch of people. We had the lead storyboard. The only person who said he couldn't do it was Pat, and he said he was busy because he was working on the short. So,
Oh.
Yeah.
but we had so many good people on there. Some of the writers. We had like some of the episode directors. Like they just, and it was like getting old friends together. They were just like, oh, we're gonna talk about the favorite show ever. Let's do this. And we were just like telling stories about everything. It was just so wild.
Whenever you get all of us Bob's people together and you do the like, what show do you wish you could have worked on? Over the Garden Wall is top 5 all the time. Everyone.
Oh
wishes
yeah,
they could.
as a self-proclaimed lifelong fan, it was a treat for me. I was like, guys, I don't know if you know, this is a really good show. It was real fun, and like it was weird because Cartoon Network wasn't doing anything for it. They were like,
so
we'll do this
weird.
little thing here. We were like, fuck that.
We reached out to them and they were like, yeah, you're the only ones doing anything. We're like, how is that possible? And they're like, they shut down Cartoon Network.
No,
It's like
the
the short,
gone.
like we found out that the short was, there was supposed to be more shorts. They just, they only did one.
I know. But yes, as we are wrapping here, is there any shows or anything in general, animated, live action, books, whatever, that you think people need to know more about beyond Bob's Burgers, of course?
I mean, go watch Seven Faces of Dr. Lao.
Yeah,
with a grain of salt, but
Yes.
open your heart to the beauty and the weirdness of that weird ass movie.
Yes.
And go watch Bluey. Watch Bluey.
Oh, Bluey's amazing.
And
that must be a dad thing.
No,
we could definitely talk about that.
You want
It's
to
more
sit here for my 3-hour TED talk on Bluey? I'll bring it. Because, dude, it's not even about kids. It is, but it's a lesson for parents. It's a lesson for adults. You want to talk about something with some gravitas, some emotional heft? Bluey, my man. You want to talk about something beautifully crafted? The Rain episode? Come on.
The space episode.
Yeah, I love that you just said that. Yes. The space episode
is this a panel
makes my wife cry.
Do we need to do this?
This is such
Absolutely.
Okay, I will let you two take that one.
Yeah.
No,
I already got the
I'm
title.
gonna email you my top 5 Bluey episodes. You're gonna watch them. We're gonna get back to it because
I'll report back. I feel like I'll wait till the show's
7
done.
minutes.
I'll
You
say
can do
I'll
this.
never watch it. I'll watch it, and they're like, guys, this was pretty good. How come nobody fucking told me about it?
in the same vein as you missed out on Over the Garden Wall because you underestimated it. Bluey is so good. They're 7-minute episodes. They're nothing in your time. The whale watching episode is an episode for the adults. Easter. Oh,
how they introduced it was just like, sorry you missed the Easter Bunny. I had some things on. I'm not going to get into it. Signed the Easter Bunny. Like they literally just forgot to make baskets for their kids.
They make it so real for the parents that you feel like the whole show is telling you it's going to be okay. There's literally an episode where they're like, you're doing a good job.
Yeah. Oh,
Cheers.
yeah.
It's for the parents. It's them absolutely telling you, I know it's rough. I know you feel like you're wildly out of control right now. On the same level of Bob's making me cry just to feel like I'm maybe doing okay as a dad, that Bluey makes you feel like you're doing exactly what you need to be doing.
The Sign episode destroyed me. Just wept like a baby at the end of that episode when I first saw it.
Guys,
when Ludo announced that they're doing a movie, I think I posted it on my stories. I was like, I'm moving my family to Australia. Ludo dropped into my DMs and they're like, if you need a house with a pool, we know a guy.
Oh, see,
because in the Sign episode, they're selling a house with a pool.
That's good social media presence.
I was like, I'll give you Bob and Linda's number, and maybe we can do like a residence swap.
Mm. Yeah, foreign
I can
exchange
bring
student kind of deal.
burgers,
Yeah.
little sliders.
If you give me how long are the episodes?
7
7
minutes.
minutes.
I bet. Okay, if you give me 10 episodes, your
10?
top 10.
Okay.
Give me
Do
10.
you want
I'll
to pick
watch
5
them.
and I pick 5?
I like that idea. Well,
I'll watch them, and
I
if
bet
they,
you there's going to be some overlap. There's going to be
There
some overlap in
probably
our
will,
top 5.
We'll pick.
But
We'll,
we'll let it-
we'll get it to a good solid 10.
if it's not good, from North to Wharf ends.
If you think I won't come back and do another 2-hour episode with you guys talking about Bluey, look out.
We'll do
Yeah.
a Bluey sit down, and
We'll do
and,
a
and
panel. You just do a whole
potentially-
panel.
potentially I'll be like, here's why Bluey isn't good, guys.
And I will wreck you from the other coast.
that'll be a 3-hour episode as to why Bluey is not the
Like,
way.
And Mike.
And in my defense, over the garden wall, if they didn't want me to think that, they shouldn't have had a pointy hat, like a gnome hat, like in Romeo and Juliet. That's not my fault.
Man.
Okay, they got to know there's ignorant folks out there who are just going to take things at the surface level, and this is what happens.
I'm glad that
because
you
it
realize
wasn't-
you're ignorant.
It wasn't meant for you.
Trust, I am fully aware. Me and my stupid reasons as to not like something or not give it a shot. And right now, Bluey's on the chopping block, guys. I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, no way.
Not a dad, so I don't. It's not
You
for
don't
me
need to be.
already. I don't know. Apparently, any of you guys are broing out and high five, and I'm the only one over here.
I
Like,
watched
don't
it
think guys.
before I
That's-
had it.
I'm going to send you the onesies episode. We're going to get you crying.
Yeah,
Oh,
onesies
exactly.
Talking about not having children. Onesies is it.
Yeah,
Is it just somebody goes like, "Oh, I wish I had kids" or something?
she can't.
I can't,
Mhm.
but
she
that was a
wants
choice.
so bad that she doesn't see her family because it makes her sad.
Spoiler alert, that brief second in the 30-minute episode where you see her pregnant.
Yeah, makes
There's a
the whole-
30-minute episode now. I thought it was 7
There's
minutes.
the
Movie.
there's
The short
one. Yeah, short movie they did.
Oh.
Emotions.
so she was- She was able to have a kid. Now I have no reason to watch now.
Oh, no,
now,
you do.
now that I know that she got pregnant, that other scene isn't going to hit as hard now.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
oh shit,
It'll
she got
hit.
there.
It's
Now
still
you
hit.
All right, you give me 5. You 5 each, and I will watch them and I'll report back.
All right.
And Eric, keep your schedule
Done.
open. We're going to need
Mhm.
2 hours from you
Done.
as to
I'll
why
talk
I'm right.
Bluey anywhere, anytime. You're gonna have to start a whole new podcast on that.
We can. I'm down. I love that show.
Bluey, Fooey. That's what we'll call it.
Oh,
Bluey,
we're not gonna
comma,
go with I blew
Fooey.
myself. The Bluey.
Well,
podcast.
All right.
It's a good Arrested Development thing. It's fine.
Okay. Eric, thank you so much for joining us. This has been
Thank
a
you,
blast.
guys. It's
It's
been a
one
lot
of the
of fun.
longest sit downs we've ever done. Even though the end we started talking about some nonsense and the Bluey of it all.
I have an effect on every conversation I'm in. They go a little long.
You'll be forgiven, but I will check out the episodes that you suggest.
Fantastic.
Odds are I may like it and be like, guys, I don't see the big deal because I won't say that I'm wrong. You'll learn that about me, and my ignorance will prevail.
It'll come out
Sure.
because he'll have like a Bluey shirt on. And I'll be like, oh, why do you have that? And he's like, oh, it's because he's got a Nationals hat on.
Fucking lifelong Bluey fan over here, guys. Didn't you know? All right.
I'm moving to
Until-
Australia. What?
Yeah, good day, and all that stuff. But thank you again, Eric. We really appreciate you sitting down with us, and I know this won't be the last time that our paths will cross.
No.
We'll do a Bluey
Okay.
episode, I promise. If you're
I'm excited.
okay, Ben.
Oh.
This has been From the Great North to Wonder Wharf, your unofficial but verified one-stop destination for bento box information. As always, I am Mike,
And I'm JB. And that's.
Oh, Eric, hi. You didn't cue. I didn't know. All right. Hi,
Oh, and we really should have practiced that. That's on us.
Wolford.
Wolford.
Eric Wolford. Wolford.
Wolford. Wolford.
Wolf. All right, we got to start from the top. Another 2 hours. We'll
right.
do it again. We'll fix it in post.
We will see you next week, everybody. Good night.
Good night, guys.
And now we got to sit here awkwardly while